Hello, Libra, and welcome to your December 1st through 15th, roughly, tarot card reading. So let's go ahead and dive right in and get started. I've already meditated on your sign, and I drew a couple animal cards, which I will start by reading from the book, and then I will give you my intuitive 2 cents about them. The animal cards are just something to keep in mind as we move through the rest of the spread. It's a thematic energy. It's a thematic energy to keep in mind as we move through the rest of the spread, and also to keep in mind as we move through the next couple of weeks. So we have the otter and the starfish. How stunning. So there's so much potential, but before I jump in, the otter. And there's an exciting energy. There's something that is creating some sense of excitement. Is what it feels like. All right, the otter. Unobstructed joy, playfulness, contentment. Perhaps the most joyful creature within the animal spirit deck, the otter represents absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child, available to us at any age. They have a giddiness, and that's what I'm feeling. They have a giddiness and a reverence for life itself, without the presence of doubt, worry, or skepticism. Yeah, there's this hopefulness, there's this giddiness, a playfulness. Imagine yourself with a little more otter energy. What would life look like? What would it take to bring you there? The otter card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebration awaits. When in balance, full of love, needs nothing. When out of balance, gloomy, sighs, makes silly excuses. To bring into balance, dance party or celebration. Beautiful. All right, and then the starfish. And here we go. Beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. The starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is, these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their life's deeper calling. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? What dreams have I put aside to please others? When in balance, uplifting, artistic, expressive. When out of balance, gossips, feels empty. To bring into balance, positive friends. Wow, that is so strong. That is so powerful. So I feel for many of you with the starfish card, there is this feeling of fulfillment that's coming up. This question of fulfillment and authenticity is coming up very loudly as the key to experience that fulfillment. So authenticity as a means to, a greater authenticity as a means to experience fulfillment. And this feels like authenticity is something that you're playing with. So how can I show up more authentic? Because we have this playful otter energy. So there's this question of how can I show up more authentically in my life? And there's this playing and experimenting with this possibility. And how can I rework whatever framework I have in place around how I show up in the world and perhaps my environment and those I surround myself with? And how can I shift and move those things around so I can show up more fully, so I can show up more authentically, so I just heard shine brighter. And with the starfish, we're really looking at an energy that when it's in more of its shadowy experience, when you're experiencing it more from a shadowy place, this energy, it can feel we have that emptiness inside, and we have that sense of, just feeling surrounded by superficiality and feeling like we're not being experienced as who we truly are, and we're not able to experience others as they truly are. So there's this disconnection that can show up as a result, as a result of being in the more shadowy aspects of the starfish energy. And what these two energies together are quite simply saying is you can elevate yourself through that by looking to surround yourself by people that are really supportive and support this opening process, support this expansion, support this authentic growth, and also by following the joy. Follow that joy. So surrounding yourself with people and experiences that that make you feel joyful. And when you're in that vibration of joy, that authentic self, that authenticity is already there. So it's just becoming more aware of that. And the feeling is that you're cultivating and you're looking at that right now of how can I bring in more joy? How can I show up more authentically? How can I experience greater fulfillment? So there's playing around with that right now. All right, let's keep these in mind as we move through the rest of the spread. We have, as the focal point of your reading, interesting, the Four of Wands reversed. So this feels like the energy that you're working with right now. It's there's something about turning this from reversed to right side up. So there's this shifting of your external environment, your home environment. The Four of Wands often we're looking at a home setup, at sort of what's happening in our personal home life or in our workplace. So there is this shifting around of one of those primary environments that exists in your life right now. So there's this working and there's this shifting of that space and how you show up in that space and what that space means to you. So, and also inhabitants. It's almost like there's how you inhabit a space or who's inhabiting your space. So there's this, it feels like there are options around this and there are potentials and possibilities. Of how you're going to fill up your environment, of who you're. There's this picking and choosing that's taking place. This looking at the home, and your center circle. I just said so. Your home base, and in that regard, it really could be home or it could be work, but it's just a place where you spend a lot of time, and it's that sacredness. It's that sacred space, that space that you consider to be safe, and or that you'd like to feel safe, and a place where you can thrive. And there's this moving around of both the inhabitants and also perhaps the location or just the aesthetics of the space to greater lift you up and enable you to more greatly lift you up and to enable you and allow you to show up in a more authentic way that you're looking to show up with as in okay, anyway, little words. Mercury retrograde, I tell ya, feeling that shadow, feeling it. Okay, so and I'm just kidding, it's not that bad. It's just need to slow down what I'm saying. Okay, so crossing the Four of Wands, we have the Four of Cups. So I'm going to go ahead and read through the rest of them, and then I'll go back. 4 and 4. Recent past, we have the Daughter of Cups. Anchoring the spread, we have the Eight of Cups reversed. That's really beautiful. Heading into the near future, we have the Five of Swords reversed. And then crowning the spread, we have the 10 of Cups. In your general energy, we have the Temperance card. Okay, patience. And then in your environment, we have the Moon. This is Cancer's card. In hopes and fears, we have the Empress. Beautiful. There's that fertility. There's that wellspring of fertility and authenticity. and potential coming into being. And then heading into mid-December, we have, oh, this is so beautiful, the world reverse. So synchronicities. And then there were 3 cards that wanted to come out from Colette Baron Reads the Good Tarot, and I'll maybe read 1 or 2 of these. This is just summing up the spread, and also as we move into mid-December, we have, the 4 of Fire. So there we go. And this is right side up. So this is this process. There's this completing of that. There's this, something is taking form, is taking shape. And this 4 of Wands reverse that we start with, that you're trying to make right side up. We see it here, right side up. So we also have the 9 of Earth, and we have the Ace of Water. And this one wants to be read upright. I can feel it. Okay. So the 4 of Wands, I've discussed that already. And then crossing that, we have the 4 of Cups. So there's this contemplation, there's this evaluation that's taking place, and there's this looking at different options. And it feels as though it almost is as you're sort of, you're looking at these options and there's this openness, you're sort of staying open as a means to navigate your way forward. So you're sort of evaluating, looking at these options that are floating around for you, these potentials. And there's this deciding around, there's this decision around what is the way forward. And the feeling I'm getting is like there's this desire to sort of marry these, to unify different possibilities. So I just heard you can, like there's this desire to, I heard have my cake and eat it too. So there's this wanting to marry different options, different possibilities, and hoping that there's sort of like looking for this middle ground is what it feels like. It's like looking for this middle ground. And then anchoring the spread, we have the 8 of Cups reverse. So there's this letting go. And even when I put this card down, it like slid off. And it's this feeling of in the recent past, the deep past, you've really let something go. There's this disappointment that really energetically, I feel, has significantly, over these past months, and particularly, it feels like it's really in the past. It's really been shed. And the Daughter of Cups in the recent past. So there's this creativity and this reflection, this self-reflection, and this dreaming is what it feels like. We have this water energy, and it feels like this dreamlike energy. And we see here with the 4 of Wands that it's looking to take this dream work and make it manifest. And this 4 of Cups is this evaluation, this observational, this continues sort of, there's a daydreaming sort of energy to this 4 of Cups as well. But it's building on this, whatever this creative inspiration, this dream is, it's supportive of this. It's building up on that as you continue this contemplation. And that's carrying us into the 5 of Swords reverse. So it does feel like there's this desire to come to a decision, to get some clarity. And I just heard to make a move. But, and while we see from crowning this spread, the 10 of Cups, that there is major, major progress. And it could even be a full-blown decision that is arrived at. I do get the sense that there's more to this story, that this is something that's going to be revisited in some way or form. So it's complete for now, but not totally complete. And with 5 of Swords, sometimes we could be looking at conversations as well, but more so, it just feels like there's this process of analyzing something, and then now there is, I just heard a temporary fix, so that's kind of interesting. It's a preliminary decision around how to accomplish. It's this step forward closer to sort of to to gaining this fulfillment that you so truly desire and are looking for and are seeking out. So we have the Temperance card in your general energy, and I feel patience is strong around this. And there's also this purifying. So I feel like there's this releasing of whatever. It's in tandem with this this Eight of Cups reversed. So I feel like there is this final like burning away, this releasing, this purification energy that's taking place. And there's also doing something that I feel to a degree. There's mixing of fire and water here in this card, and it's sort of impossible, but it's not. There's this alchemical energy to this Temperance card, and I feel that there's this transmutation that's taking place at this point in time for you. And in your environment, I feel that there's this almost this deep diving into your emotional experience and how you experience yourself emotionally as a means to encourage and nurture this purification process, and this alchemical transmuting process is taking place. So it feels like real growth. There's this real evolution that's happening. And then in the hopes and fears, we have the Empress card, and we're looking at fertility, and we're looking at a desire to see growth and fruition, and I just heard love. And so we have topic heading into mid-December, the world, and every single time the world comes up, it means so clearly for me, especially in this period of time. Synchronicities, follow the synchronicities, really keep your eye open to that. That's going to support you and help move you through this process. And because decision-making does seem like it's a theme, it's almost like stepping into all the possibilities and all the potential through presence, like really making yourself available to all those possibilities by being super, super present, and then following the synchronicities. And there's another sign that this felt very relevant for. So stepping in with your presence to all the possibility, and then trusting that the synchronicities that show up in your life will help you to make this decision. So follow those synchronicities. And then we have the Four of Fire, the Nine of Earth, and the Ace of Water. So let me see. We have a couple. I don't want this to be too long, but we have the Four of Fire, and I'll start by reading that. So these are just messages to keep in mind as we head into mid-December, and also to sort of sum up this reading of it. So the Four of Fire, the Four of Wands, we have this as a very prominent energy in the spread. So this is mid-December, it feels. A new creative phase, celebration, pleasure, and harmony in relationships. So I feel like that's what's really arrived at after these decisions are made, and whatever this shifting in your home space, your home base, your work area, your creative environment, it is bringing a lot of harmony. So there's a lot of joy to be experienced coming up here. Dancers have partners, singers have musicians, helping them create sweet music, and I find others who are in sync with me and my desires. Oh, this is so beautiful. It's a time for celebrating friendship and all that others bring to my life, a time for revelry and relishing the pleasures of being in good company. Making magic together with others is a focus at this time. And we have the holidays coming up, but I also just feel specifically there is this finding like-minded and spending quality time with like-minded people. So there is this communing, there is this coming together, and there is this sense of we're sort of starting with a message that there may be a feeling of lack of fulfillment to some degree or form. And now we're seeing that sort of be over these next couple of weeks, really you're troubleshooting that. And then we see in a really joyful, optimistic way, with that great attitude, that great perspective, and we see that absolutely happen, that turnaround from Four of Wands reversed to Four of Wands upright over these next 2 weeks. So it's a quick turnaround, and I feel like there's a lot of fulfillment here. And then the Nine of Earth. Beautiful. The Nine of Earth. Okay. Disciplined self-reliance, reliable resources, restraint and self-control, the final stone placed in the foundation. I know I can rely on myself and spirit. There are many tools at my disposal, and I use my resources wisely, solidifying the foundation of my security in the material world. I am diligent and disciplined, focused on completing the work I began long ago. I stick to my program, trusting that the plan is unfolding before me exactly as Spirit intended. So yes, do the work, do what you need to do to get things organized and to generate greater fulfillment for yourself, and follow the synchronicities. You are on point. You are, just keep following this current that you're riding. It is follow those synchronicities and trust in what is unfolding for you. So last but not least, we have the Ace of Water. So beautiful, such a beautiful way to complete this reading. So this feels something to keep in mind really strongly over the next 2 weeks. I feel like it's going to come up in a couple of different ways for you. So at a couple of different times. So it's like, I feel like I'm looking at multiples. The Ace of Water. Unconditional love, overflowing abundance, the fertility of love. I am filled with love from Spirit and joyously let it flow out to others, where it fertilizes the seeds of co-creation. Love gives me hope, shining brilliant light on all the possibilities available to me. I am optimistic about bringing dreams into being. Spirit always informs me and guides me, allowing me to illumine the darkest of places. So, yeah. And I feel what this is calling for is your presence, trusting in the options, trusting in trusting that will all be there as you stay present. The more you stay present, and I feel that this could be offers coming up in a couple of different ways, at a couple of different times throughout this next couple of weeks. But I feel like. And then I feel that there's this joy and there's this fulfillment that it's so funny that we start this reading with maybe this wondering of, like I'm feeling a little bit unsatisfied or unfulfilled in this area. And then there's this coming in a huge way of so much fulfillment, and so much surprise and so much possibility and so much potential and so much is being offered to you right now. So enjoy that. Keep your heart open to it and look for those synchronicities. I'm sending you all of my love. Check out your rising sign and your moon sign, because you can piece together a more holistic reading for yourself. I love you. I love you. I love you. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it so much. And I'm just sending you all of my love. Have a good one.